Live from the Busch Light Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here. Woo!
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Why did that happen in Fayetteville, Arkansas?
Dixon Street. It'll get you.
Streaming live from
Hit that line.
.com.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Good afternoon to the dynamic duo. I think Clay named that right. Fellas, I just want you to know I've enjoyed this show. Y'all took it from scratch. I heard your first show, and you've turned it into my favorite show.
Jones for the win. He got it. He got it. He got it. Mason Jones banks in a three with 0.1 seconds to play.
All right, hold on. It's almost halftime.
All right, so let me get this straight. What broadcast am I doing right now? I'm at Paul Walker Stadium. The Razorbacks are out there taking batting practice, and if you're watching on our live video stream, you can see batting practice live rather than my usual ugly mug. And I've got my headset on. I mean, this is equipment that I sometimes do baseball games on. I got my scorebook in front of me. Is this the Learfield IMG pregame show that I'm doing right now?
It's the pregame to the pregame, Phil.
This is the pregame to the pregame.
The unofficial.
So this is halftime. This is halftime right now, right? Okay, I'm just a little bit confused, just a little bit, because I guess I just was prepared to start doing baseball. But then again, I mean, I only have half of my scorebook filled up. I don't have the Eastern Illinois lineup. I do have the Razorback lineup. I'm one of the first people to actually find that lineup today. I think that was something we did last year, Ty Richardson. Didn't we give a preview into the lineup before the actual opening day? I think we were the first media outlet to actually release the Razorback lineup last year. So I guess we got to keep tradition going.
That's the perks of doing the show with the voice of Razorback baseball. There's not many perks, Phil, but there's one every once in a while, buddy.
Well, one of them is a window into what's going on with baseball. That's for sure. Good looks aren't any of it. Intelligence aren't any of it either. But definitely
great facial hair.
It's the right place to be. Thanks. I actually tried to make sure I had the facial hair for radio today, along with the personality. So we appreciate you tuning in on a shortened, abbreviated version of Halftime. Much more abbreviated for me, not so much for Ty Richardson and Matty T in the studios today. They'll be taking you up till 1:30 when the baseball pregame show begins on this very radio station you're listening to. I'll be with you until the bottom of this hour. And then, well, I'd like to do more than just 30 minutes or 2 segments of this show, but I've got a date with Dave Van Horn at 12:30 to do a pregame interview. So
a Valentine's Day date?
I forgot to make reservations, Matty. Gosh. Well, you know what, though? Dave took care of the reservations himself because he's got his very own the coach's well, down in the dugout. That's where we're going to have ourselves a nice little chat. I didn't get him any chocolates. I didn't get him any roses. But hopefully, I'm sure he's got a heater down there for me because you better have a heater at Paul Walker Stadium today. It is. Is
that like a SIG?
No, not a lung dart. I'm calling those a lung dart or a something like that.
Because I was gonna say my buddies call heaters SIGs. So I didn't think I'd find you smoking a SIG with DVH on the sideline, but
I mean a real heater. Like this thing right here. I brought a space heater up into the radio booth so that me and Bubba wouldn't be so ice cold to each other. So
now is that electric or is that the propane?
This is an electric heater. I don't want to choke us out. Yeah. I know Dave doesn't smoke cigarettes. He's not a lung dart guy. I'm pretty sure he's got himself a space heater down in that camera into that coach as well. And I don't think any other spot of the dugout has any other access to a heater. So that's going to be the place to be, huddled in front of what used to be, what they used to do. And I remember going to Pittsburgh Pirates games as a kid. In early April, you would see trash can fires being set by relief pitchers in the bullpen. I mean, you want to talk about something that was a real hazard, right? Legitimate trash can fires in the steel trash cans with the pitchers just warming their hands over it. And who knows, maybe even doing something to a baseball that they shouldn't do.
I've seen teams do that, like kind of make a mock fires. I guess that's what that's in reference to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it isn't a mock fire; it's a real fire. I mean, you actually could see the flames coming out of the trash can.
I lit our middle school microwave on fire.
Intentionally?
No, unintentionally. I thought I put my hot pot pocket in. It was on top of the microwave, and there was just a paper towel. Next thing you know, it was burning. We had to leave the cafeteria.
That's, well done, Ty. I've actually set a banana on fire inside a microwave once.
Why were you microwaving a banana?
Well, I freeze them sometimes to make banana chocolate pancakes for the kids. And so those stems actually can set on fire. Anyway, I'm not going to set anything on fire today, although hopefully the Razorbacks light up the scoreboard, this and that, against the same team they opened up last year against. That's got to be pretty rare to open up the season against the same team 2 years in a row. The Eastern Illinois Panthers have been on the clock officially since the start of this week, according to many of the Razorback baseball players' Twitter accounts. The Hogs outscored them last year 30-12 in 3 games. Couple of blowout wins, but then I think we kind of forget that the Sunday game of that series almost went into extra innings. Arkansas had to win it on a walk-off hit by Heston Kjerstad in the bottom of the 9th inning, and that was... I remember getting into this yesterday a little bit. You want to see 3 wins. There's no doubt about that. And Arkansas hasn't not swept an opponent since 2013 to open a season. So you're looking to make it 7 years in a row, sweeping your season-opening opponent. And does it really matter what the margin of victory is in this? To some people, it might matter, and to some, I don't think it does. I'd like to see a blowout win or 2, but the chances are in this crazy game you're going to see a close game. But we will have a window into the lineup for you. We'll get into that in the second segment. There really aren't any surprises. Did you see Dave Van Horn did a special edition, a bonus edition of the Hog Pod with Bo Mattingly, in which he pretty much went through the lineup and went through the pitching rotation and talked about his expectations for this season, which are higher than I think any expectation, with the exception of the year Arkansas opened first in the country. I forget what year that was, 2011 or was it 2013?
That was when Hogs? They had like Keuchel and all those boys pitching, right? Is that a separate year? Okay.
Right. That was a year they came out ranked first in the preseason polls and ended up not making it to Omaha that year. So, the preseason expectations are exactly what they are, preseason, and I don't even really think you're going to have a full sense of what you have for a college baseball team until you get into the 3rd or 4th week. This is kind of like a spring training for college baseball teams, that they've been playing each other for so long. Major league teams, minor league teams, they get 4 or 5 weeks of playing against other opponents in games that don't matter before they're actually asked to play games that do matter. This game matters here today. This is a game that means something when push comes to shove in June.
How about the excitement this morning? We got calls this morning on the Morning Rush that there were people lined up outside of Baum at 8 a.m., and that was just when we got the call. They could have been outside before that. And if you look at the weather, it was below 30 degrees. I think it was I think it might have been below 20 degrees this morning, Phil. And there were still people.
It's 36 degrees right now, and temperatures are rising a bit. My app tells me no better than a high of 42. So, yeah, and the ones who really get it badly are the guys that are the camera operators for the TV stations that have to stand up above the last row behind home plate.
Yikes!
That is a wind tunnel. So I feel bad for them. But I tell you what, there were people that were already lined up before I got here. You're right, Ty. The stands opened about. I think 25 minutes ago, and we got fans in the hog pen right now. You see a couple of grills going. The grill smoke is wafting up into the skies, and it's starting to feel like a little more of a familiar scene here at this ballpark, with the exception of the marquee now saying Baum Walker instead of Baum Stadium.
Yeah, that's a big part, a big new change to the thing. I saw a couple of my buddies I know as the baseball broadcaster, Phil, you're always going to say Baum Walker, but it's kind of like Alltel Arena to me. It's always going to be known as Alltel. I don't care what advertiser, whoever sponsor it, that's going to be Alltel Arena in Little Rock to me. Baum Walker Stadium is always just going to be known. I don't call it Baum Stadium. I just call it Baum.
That's just call it Baum, yeah.
Which is fine. I'm not getting paid to say it a certain way. So that's you. On the other hand, you are getting paid to say it a certain way.
Those who are watching our video stream right now, Cole Austin taking batting practice. Austin starting at first base and batting 7th. One of 3 newcomers in the lineup for Dave Van Horn, along with junior college transfer Braden Webb, and should be a high school senior, Robert Moore, who's starting as a 17-year-old today, batting ninth for the fifth-ranked team in the country. All right, your calls and texts. Again, I'm on with you for another about 15, 16 minutes or so. Ty and Matty T take you up to the start of the baseball broadcast at 1:30. 877-377-6963 to get with us today. Doug in Mountain Home says two things. One, it was 12 degrees in Mountain Home today,
Wow.
7 o'clock in the morning. You can't imagine standing in line. Yeah, they were in the teens earlier today here in Fayetteville. And he's worried about the starting pitcher for Eastern Illinois. His name is Will Klein, guy that throws anywhere from 95 to 97 miles an hour, and that makes him worried. But I'll tell you what, this Arkansas team has a lot of batters that can hit a 97-mile-an-hour fastball if they're looking for it and it's in the right spot. Plus, Klein walked more batters than innings pitched last season. All right, we'll come back with a little bit more baseball after the break. I'll get you a look at the Razorback lineup and preview this one with EIU, so stick around.
A show that lives up to the hype. You're listening to Halftime. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
They're 134th in college basketball in free throw shooting percentage. At one point, you're inside the top 50. 134th is not terrible. They're shooting about 72% as a team. But because of these tight ball games, how big were those 11 missed free throws? This team is looking at the stat sheet and they're saying, man, wish we would have knocked those free throws down, Tommy.
Don't miss The Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3.
Celebrate the Pockets Full of Presidents event with Rhodes Chevrolet. Find monumental savings on new 19 Chevy Blazer front-wheel drive RS models, now $6,000 off MSRP. Or new 20 Chevy Silverado 1500 Crew Cab Customs, now $36,499 at Rhodes Chevrolet. Conveniently located at Exit 2A off I-540 in Van Buren or RhodesChevy.com. Chevy, find new roads. With approved credit plus tax, title, license, and dealer fees. Not all qualify. See dealer for details. Ends 3/2/20.
Get a sweetheart of a deal when you move to Dish right now with World of Wireless. Call 877-305-DISH.
Call WOW now, 877-305-DISH, and get your Valentine's Day special this weekend and get you installed this weekend and watch high definition, get your hopper for free, get you a $100 gift card for free, and more importantly, tell your sweetheart, hey, I'm saving you money for the next 2 years.
College basketball is getting into the heat of the action. College baseball is getting ready to start. All your favorite channels to watch all your favorite teams.
That's right. All your favorite channels, less than $75 a month to include the SEC network, which you're going to need to watch a lot of those Hog baseball games.
877-305-DISH. Call WOW now, get a $100 Visa gift card, and Ben, your crews will install locally for our customers.
And do it this weekend, but you got to call 877-305-DISH or come by the corner of Phoenix and Rogers Avenue.
Your premium local Dish dealer is World of Wireless. 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474.
Breeden RV is giving away $25,000. That's right, $25,000. We're giving away $1,000 to the first 25 sold customers from February 10th through February 29th. Come see the area's best selection of motorhomes, fifth wheels, travel trailers, and get RV show pricing as well as free maintenance for life. We need your trade, so we'll pay top dollar, or we can even sell it on consignment. Get the best campers, free maintenance for life, and your share of $25,000 only at Breeden RV, 5603 Alma Highway in Van Buren, where your adventures begin.
Well, the new year is in full swing and it's business as usual. But it doesn't have to be. If you're stuck with an old phone system or an old slow internet connection, chances are the technology curve has passed you by. Why not let Pinnacle Telecom help you get back up to speed? With lightning fast fiber internet connections and IP phone systems, Pinnacle Telecom can ensure you're not left behind. Get 4 new IP phones for as little as $99 per month. Check us out at pinnacletelecom.com. Pinnacle Telecom, tomorrow's technology today.
Back again at the all-new Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw, Oklahoma, making some sweetheart deals on the remaining 29 teams. They have got to go, and we got 3 Ford Expeditions left. Troy, these are up to $15,000 off.
Yes, right now up to $15,000 off of the 19 Expeditions. Like you said, we only have 3 left in inventory. We appreciate all of our customers. Last month we had 13 15 last month, and now we only have 3. So we got rid of 10. Come down here. Everybody knows it's a phenomenal deal, up to $15,000 off. Come take advantage of it.
These are platinum and limiteds in these remaining 3, so these are hard loaded.
Yes, definitely hard loaded. Leather, heated, air conditioned seats, navigation. Hey, that platinum out there will massage you while you're driving down the road. Come take advantage of it. All of this money off, and we only have 3 left.
Up to $15,000 off on the remaining 2019 Expeditions, and only at Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford. 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw, Oklahoma.
This is ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
3 on the way, missed that one, but Henderson's there for a 2-hand follow. Ethan with his strongest minutes so far this year.
Bit comes out of the batter's box, finishing his round of batting practice. And Robert Moore from outside Kansas City has taken his first hacks of the afternoon here at Ball Walker Stadium as we continue to count you down to first pitch. 2 o'clock for the start of the game. On the air at 1:30 with the Learfield IMG pregame show. Phil Elson, Ty Richardson, Matty T in studio. Brought to you today by The Fence Man. If you own a business that needs more security or more curb appeal, then call this number. It's The Fence Man, 479-782-3936. The Fence Man's got a fence that can give you both security and more curb appeal. They specialize in custom installations, been doing it for over 40 years. Gates and controlled access card readers. The Fence Man can come over for a quick, no obligations quote. Ask for Henry. The number again, 479-782-3936. The Fence Man is a division of Quantum Property Services. One thing Arkansas has in their back pocket, one of the best coaches in the country, I think in any sport. Dave Van Horn comes into this ball game 15th most victories for any active college baseball coach at a 4-year institution. He's won 1,060 games during his time as a Division I or Division II head coach. That being 1 year at Central Missouri, 94, won a national title. 3 years at Northwestern State, picked up 106 wins. 5 years at Nebraska, including 2 trips to Omaha. And, of course, he's been at Arkansas now since 2003. He's 11 wins away from 700 at Arkansas, and he's won 1,275 games over his career in exactly 1,900 games. So today is the 1,901st game that Dave Van Horn is a collegiate head coach, and that also counts the 5 years that he was the head coach at Texarkana Community College back in the late 80s and early 90s. So that's definitely one thing you've got in your back pocket, a guy who knows how to win a lot of ball games, knows how to push buttons, and I think he continues to learn. You know, I mean, this is somebody that just a few days ago at the North Little Rock Tip-In Club talked openly about how he thinks he's changed as a collegiate baseball head coach, and it doesn't really have much to do with his philosophy on the field. It's how he relates to the players and let them be who they are. And that what are you laughing about? To me, it says something about somebody that's in his late 50s, early 60s that's had to make an adjustment from being a head coach in your early 30s, where you might be just a little bit harder on the players. And now at this level, at this place, you're at a place where you're comfortable letting guys be themselves. I think it's also a matter of accountability for the players when they're doing their jobs, when they're showing up early, when they're taking their life here at Arkansas as a baseball player and a student seriously. I think that helps put everything at ease. And for me, that's what most of these kids coming into this program attack their time at Arkansas like. And that's got to help Dave, maybe change his approach personally with these players one-on-one.
So on that note, Phil, and first, the reason I was laughing is Doug in Mountain Home says that we should have this text line during the game so you can say what fans are thinking mid-broadcast, which I'd assume would be entertaining but highly volatile.
I would need somebody to filter through all of the texts. I don't think I could do it myself.
Yeah, it would be funny. On that note, what you're talking about with Dave, Nick Saban said the same thing. And I know the net level of excellence, Nick's a little above with the national championships, but they demand the same type of respect. And in a sense that you're talking about, Nick's been open that he tries not to get as angry and tries not to get as mad and let the players work themselves out, exactly like it seems like you're talking about with Dave. He's come to a level similar to what John McDonald used to do. And I mentioned this morning. I can't remember the publication or the source, but at a certain point, John McDonald just let the older players work it out with the younger players. There was a level of expectation, a level set, whether it's Heston, Casey, Cops, some of the older guys, these young guys come in. It's like, hey, this is Arkansas baseball. This is the standard that we have set. This is the standard that those before us have set. We're not deviating from this. We're not going off of this. We have an expectation from the fans to deliver every single year. And it's the little things that are important. We're not showy and goey like Ole Miss. Every once in a while we celebrate, but this is how we do things in Fayetteville at Baum-Walker Stadium. I think it's been evident the last couple of years. The only time that you said it wasn't evident in 2016 when the one blemish on Dave Van Horn's record is when they didn't make the postseason. One time since 2003.
And you remember what Ben McDonald said about that yesterday, and Dave told me the same thing you told him. Is that this is not going to happen again.
Never. It's like, I will never let this happen again. And for him to say I, not we, I, like he's putting that almost, in a sense, he's putting that on himself. He's not saying it was because of me, but he's projecting futuristically. He's saying, I'm not letting this happen again. I'll do whatever it takes to make sure our teams in the future do not encounter this same obstacle and these same obstacles that we had during this season.
And in the 3 years since then, you've made it to Omaha twice, hosted a regional that went to the final game, and went to the SEC championship game that same year. So it's been, you haven't seen I know it's been back-to-back trips to Omaha, but I think if you look at the 3-year period that started with 2017, you really haven't seen this sort of success over the course of Arkansas baseball history. 45 wins, 48 wins, 46 wins. That's back-to-back-to-back seasons with at least 45 victories. I don't know. I don't have the year by year in front of me for Arkansas baseball, but that hasn't happened since Dave's been the coach here. And that's a lot of wins. It's a lot of wins. All right, I got the lineup. I might as well go through it here. 877-377-6963 for comments or questions about it. I'm taking you up for another 6 minutes or so, Ty and Matty T, until the rest of it. And it won't just be baseball throughout the show, of course. Big weekend of basketball for the men's and women's teams. Pretty much a must-win game for Arkansas men's basketball, or it feels like it, just because you want to snap a 3-game losing streak and start to stop the slide that started with the Isaiah Joe injury. 12 o'clock, Mississippi State tomorrow. And then you got the women's team in action on Sunday against the only winless team in conference in the SEC in Ole Miss. So lots of basketball, but lots of baseball too, and this is what the lineup looks like for Arkansas baseball. I snapped the picture earlier today. Again, no surprises. Braden Webb will be leading off. Webb is the guy who transferred out of Grayson Community College and hit in the 450s last year in JUCO ball. One of the best players in the country for any junior college program, a right-handed batter batting in the leadoff spot as the left fielder. I know he's got a lot of pop. He collected 25 doubles and 14 home runs last year at Grayson, so somebody that also, if you're at the top of the batting order, you probably have a pretty good idea of the strike zone. Christian Franklin batting second, and I thought Heston Kerstad might bat second, but Dave's putting Franklin in there too, and I heard him tell Bo Mattingly that the reason is because he thinks Franklin is a little bit more like a leadoff guy, so if Webb doesn't reach base, you got another one like Franklin ready to go there. I think Christian's ready to break out this year, have the sort of season that catapults him towards maybe making a lot of those preseason lists next year. Right-hand batter out of outside Kansas City. And then Heston Kerstad batting in the third spot in right field. Kerstad comes into this game with 31 career home runs in 134 career games. And I think he's going to have a monster season. I know we got into that yesterday. Matt Goodhart bats cleanup, DH. I'd be surprised if Goodhart even uses a glove this year in the field. And right now, his shoulder injury that he suffered last year near the end of the season is as such where he still is not ready to play in the field. But he can swing it, and he can run the bases. He had a hamstring issue at the start of scrimmages, but I think that's played itself out. The hamstring's fine.
Phil, was the comparison with Ezel, did they have the same type of surgery, or am I just is that a figment of my imagination? I feel like you made
I don't think it's the same injury.
Okay.
I think that with Ezel, he had to have that shoulder completely rebuilt. I think it's different with Goodhart, much different with Goodhart. But the other thing, too, is, Goodhart, he's a little bit awkward in the field sometimes. You know, I mean, he's a hitting savant. Like, the guy wakes up and could hit with his eyes closed. Had a little issue fielding the ball in right field, and when we saw him at first base, just a little awkward here and there. But the guy can flat out rake. I think he's going to be the every game designated hitter. Casey Martin batting fifth at shortstop. Now, I thought they might have Casey a little bit higher in the lineup, maybe to get him some more protection from whoever's hitting behind him. But the way Dave says it is he just wants Casey to don't worry about walking, get up there and hit. But if it is that simple, hopefully Casey knows that the better pitches to hit are not the curveballs or off-speed pitches in the dirt. And Casey Opitz batting behind him, so it's going to be pretty big for Casey to provide some protection for Martin. Otherwise, they're just going to try to either pitch around Martin or get him to go fish. And Opitz, this is the guy who's going to take the biggest step forward with the bat. Opitz played 58 games last year. I want to look at what they've got him listed weight-wise this season. Casey's listed at 195 pounds. He was probably $175 last year. Had a total of 6 extra base hits. I think he's going to have 6 extra base hits by the end of 2 weeks. That's, this 15, 20 pounds of muscle he's put on. He's got a really nice, easy-going swing, a very smart player. I think he's going to have himself a good season. He's going to show some power. Austin, the transfer out of Arizona State, who's supposed to be a guy with real power stroke, barely played it all last year because of a back injury. And Arizona State also has one of the best first basemen of the country in Spencer Torkelson. So Austin transfers as a graduate, starting at first base, batting 7th today. Jacob Nesbitt batting 8th at third base. Nesbitt last year, .255 average, .333 on base in 64 games. Really good third baseman. He could take a step forward with the bat, too. And then there's Robert Moore batting 9th at second base as a switch-hitting 17-year-old. And then there's Connor Nolan on the mound. And that's the lineup for Arkansas baseball. And that's it for me here on this show today. So I guess I'll be back with you on Monday, Ty and Matty T, correct?
That's
true, yes.
That's the plan, man.
And then we got Whole Hog Tuesday.
We've got Whole Hog at the Phoenix Avenue location Tuesday from 12 to 2, so come out and visit us as well. Plus, $2.50 pulled pork sandwiches at the Borough Road location and the Phoenix Road location from 11 to 2 on Tuesday. All right, I'm going to step out, going to go down and interview Dave Van Horn. Calls or texts here on halftime, 877-377-6963. Don't go anywhere.
No hidden agendas on this program. You're listening to Halftime.
Back again at Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw, Oklahoma. If you've been looking for a low payment on a brand new Ford, we've got it. With 2020 Ford Fusions, Troy, you got them as low as $299 a month.
Hey, that sounds wonderful, doesn't it? Who wants a brand new car and all in all at an affordable price? Less than $300 a month, guys, with approved credit. But this is a brand new 2020. Get all the brand new warranties. 3 years, 36,000 miles, bumper to bumper, 5 years, 60 powertrain. And you get 42,000 points. Hey, you're talking about a year, 2 years of free maintenance. So a cheap monthly payment that you can afford, and you don't have to pay your maintenance for the next few years.
And $299 a month, anyone can fit that in their budget.
No, definitely. $299 a month on a brand new, full-size sedan, phenomenal gas mileage, and plenty of room for the kids and fam.
Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw, and always online at harryrobinson.com.
Is your home at least 10 years old and served by OG&E? OG&E is offering Arkansas customers a free weatherization program to increase your comfort and lower your bills. A trained crew will perform an energy audit at no cost to you, and if your home qualifies, our crews will install measures that will save you money. The services provided through this program are absolutely free to qualifying homes. If you could benefit from free home weatherization improvements, call OG&E at 1-800-272-9741. That's 1-800-272-9741.
The new year is here, and Art's Barbecue and Burgers is ready with healthy choices on their menu. Art's Barbecue and Burgers has smoked chicken that will melt in your mouth, a variety of salads to choose from, plus a grilled chicken breast that's always a smart option. And use the Waiter app to have the full menu at Art's Barbecue and Burgers brought to your home or business. Art's Barbecue and Burgers, giving you healthy choices to start the new year off right. Art's Barbecue and Burgers, next to Aaron's on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here with a better way to drive at Rath Auto Resources. 2020 is a leap year. That means you get a whole extra day to save up to $2,900 off of retail value on my best Rath Road Ready inventory selection ever. Don't settle for the usual used car. Let my team of non-commissioned solution specialists help you find the Rath Road-ready vehicle that's perfect for you. And you'll get special pricing up to $2,900 below retail value. Waiting on a tax refund? Just bring your W-2 and let us show you how you can start driving better now. If you're planning on keeping your current ride for a while, we can help with your maintenance and repair needs in our Meineke Car Care Center with buy 3, get 1 free on all tires and a basic oil change for only $24.95 every day. It's still a short month, so don't wait. Limber up and leap into a new ride with great savings, killer selection, and the personal service you've come to expect from your friends at Rath Auto Resources. A better way to drive. 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price affects trade allowance.
This is ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Joe with 5 to shoot. Isaiah, NBA 3 on the way, and it's good. Joe's got 17. The lead is 10.
All right, let's go to the phone lines. 877-377-6963 is the number to call or text in on halftime. Aaron Torres joins us now, Fox Sports Radio, Kentucky Sports Radio. He's got his podcast as well. AT, this last interview, man, it's going to be a little bit of a somber one. I think this is my last interview with you on Middays, dude.
Dude, I'm proud of you. I'm happy. You know, you and Phil early on said that you wanted me to be part of what you guys do, and I've always appreciated that. I know you're on to bigger. Well, I don't know about bigger or better. I don't want to be disrespectful of Phil and whoever is replacing you, if somebody's replacing you, but it's been a pleasure. I know you guys have so much to talk about in the morning that you don't really take guests, but if you ever need a guest, I'm always awake for you. Best of luck in your new venture, and I'm sure we'll still be texting even if you never call me on Fridays to talk anymore.
Hey, we'll manage to do that. So being AT, I know we're still in the thick of college basketball because of Arkansas's kind of downturn as of late. They've lost 6 of their last 7 conference games. People are really focused on Arkansas baseball. Out west, is there a vibe? Is there some excitement for Pac-12 baseball? Are you guys still locked and loaded during basketball season?
Yeah, it's actually really funny you asked me this because I was out last night with a couple producers from the Pac-12, the Sirius Network. You know, SEC has Sirius, SEC, and, you know, Jacob Hester and all those guys are on it. So I was out with a couple producers. And maybe it was because we were on during a couple big Pac-12 basketball games. But, yeah, no, I still think it largely is. I don't know. You could tell me UCLA is probably pretty good, I would guess. Maybe some of the Arizona schools. But, yeah, I don't know that baseball is really moving the needle out here. I will say Phil and you and John Neighbors at The Competitor now, I see you guys tweeting. I know my Diamond Hogs are about to get back on the diamond, so I'm excited. But, yeah, other than that, I can't really tell you much about – other than what you guys tweet, I can't really tell you much about what's going on with college baseball.
That's okay, man, because you can enlighten us what's going on with Arkansas basketball. I know on your podcast this week you touched on Arkansas potentially being close to the bubble. How do they get back on track? And they got a tough matchup on Saturday, AT. Reggie Perry is one of the more bona fide big men in the country, and I don't know if you know this. He was at one time committed to Arkansas, played with a couple teammates at Arkansas on the Arkansas Wings, Isaiah Joe and some others. What are your thoughts on Arkansas' slide, and how do you think they get back on track to hopefully get to an NCAA tournament bid?
Yeah, it's a tough game, and it gets tougher by the fact that Mississippi State themselves is coming off a weird loss, and they lost at Ole Miss earlier this week, and they need a win really badly, too. I was looking at Joe Lunardi's latest bracketology today, and I saw that Arkansas is in the last 4 in, and I see that Mississippi State has completely fallen out of the picture, and so they need to rally really quickly here. Listen, you know, I think there's obviously a direct parallel with losing Isaiah Joe to injury in this skid, and even when he was playing, it's been a long time since he's been close to 100%. You know, I think the thing that Arkansas has going for it is the schedule. I feel like lightens up a little bit. You get Mississippi State at home, I believe. I don't have the schedule in front of me, but Missouri at home down the stretch. Florida on the road is going to be tough, but it's a game that Arkansas can win. So the wins are there. It's just a matter of whether they get there or not. But, yeah, I watched that Tennessee game the other night, and I really did feel like it was kind of a confluence of everything coming together. The lack of depth, the lack of size, the lack of Isaiah Joe, and you hope you can just weather the storm enough to just win enough games to get into the tournament, and once you get there, just about anything can happen.
So, AT, talking about Isaiah Joe, I found this interesting. I was just thinking about perspective. With NBA scouts, general managers, different people in the front office, and National Basketball Association teams, with them seeing how Arkansas has struggled so mightily, not only from the three-point line, but just overall offensively and defensively, does that add value to Isaiah Joe, seeing what this team was like with him and what it was like without him, or does it have no bearing or no effect at all when NBA GMs and others are looking at this kid potentially to be drafted into their team?
It's a really interesting question. It's a really kind of fun question. You know, I don't know that it matters so much. Nobody's drafting Isaiah Joe to be their star. I think, like, for example, I think it matters with Anthony Edwards, like the kid at Georgia. Like, it would scare me if I had the number one pick and I was drafting this guy to be the face of my organization when Georgia really isn't all that significantly better with or without him this season. Mm-hmm. With Isaiah Joe, I think he has a very unique skill set. I think he has a skill set that very much works for the modern NBA. And so I think teams will just look at the fact, hey, he's a guy that can come in, he can hit threes, he can maybe defend multiple positions, and he is a guy that will have value at this level. I don't know that the win-loss stuff really matters as much for him, but I think if you're building the case for Isaiah Joe in the pre-draft process, whether you're his agent, whether you're Isaiah Joe himself meeting with teams, I think that's something that is absolutely worth bringing up. We'll see if it matters, but yeah, it's so clear that they just need that extra punch. They just need that extra body. It's such a bummer that you know, this whole thing happened at the timing that it did.
AT, I'm glad you mentioned Georgia, and we're speaking with Aaron Torres Sports Podcast here on Halftime, because I know you like to mess with Tom Crean a little bit because you thought that Georgia made the splash hire rather than the right hire, and I want to parallel that to Arkansas football for a sec. Arkansas football hired a guy that is known for recruiting prowess, really wants to be in the state as the head football coach. People were kind of disappointed, not only inside and nationally, when Lane Kiffin supposedly didn't take the job, spurned Arkansas for Ole Miss, and then Mississippi State ends up getting Mike Leach. Two big-time splash hires. But as a guy that knows that it's not always about it's not always about the splash hire, it's about the right hire. Can you speak to Georgia and what they did with Crean and the potential with Arkansas with Sam Pittman for the guy that really seems to know what he's doing, at least early on here at Arkansas?
Another great question, Ty. You know, you're really hitting your stride right as you're leaving us on halftime.
Bad time, man. Bad timing.
Nah, it's awesome. Again, I'm happy for you. So to answer your question, you know, I actually think there is a good kind of basketball-football parallel there. And I said at the time, and it was proven correct last year, maybe not even so much this year, there were two teams in the SEC that offseason in basketball that made hires. One went for the splashy name hire, Tom Crean. It's largely been, I wouldn't call it a disaster. I'd say it's been underwhelming so far. Mm-hmm. The other one was Ole Miss with Kermit Davis, and Kermit Davis was kind of this older guy. He had been around the block. He had had success at Middle Tennessee State, but you know, I wouldn't say Kermit Davis absolutely moves the needle. I can't think of the most relevant Kermit Davis moment maybe ever at any point. But Kermit Davis took Ole Miss to the tournament this year. They're playing pretty well right now, and I think there are parallels there with Sam Pittman. Listen, I am actually a pretty big Lane Kiffin supporter. I think that you know, kind of his situation at USC isn't quite as many remember it, but many of his problems were self-inflicted. I'm not sold that even with his recruiting prowess that he is going to have success at Ole Miss. Mike Leach, listen, he's fun. It's going to be great having him at SEC Media Days next year. I'm jealous of you guys that are going to be there because I'm probably not, and Mike Leach is going to steal the show. But you know, he's in his late 50s, mid to late 50s. This is his last coaching stop. It's a big paycheck. It's a big financial boost. Is that guy fully invested in what it is going to take to get Mississippi State to the level of success that their fans want? I don't know. One thing I do know, Sam Pittman is going to do everything that he can for the University of Arkansas, for the state of Arkansas. And I would add this. I do think what I have been impressed by, I know we're up on time here, but, I'm getting the Coach O sense in the fact that he wants to bring in smart people around him, bringing in Kendall Briles and Barry Odom. Like, he doesn't strike me as a guy that is afraid to bring in smart people, afraid to bring in people that are going to challenge him, and afraid to bring in people that are going to make him a better coach. And so I think when you have a coach like that who has been through it all, has been through the ups and downs, and isn't afraid to say, I don't know everything, I'm going to bring in guys who are going to educate me, I think that's just a great sign. I don't know what it means. I'm not going to promise any win total, but I just think for the future of Arkansas football, this guy really seems to be putting his money where his mouth is in terms of bringing in the best possible staff, the best possible recruiters, all the things that are needed to get Arkansas football back on the right track.
Aaron Torres, you can listen to his podcast, the Aaron Torres Sports Podcast, on iTunes and a variety of other places, also on Fox Sports Radio, Kentucky Sports Radio, and occasionally writes for The Athletic. AT, as always, appreciate you hopping on with us on Friday. We'll talk soon, I promise. This won't be the last time you hear from me, buddy.
Thanks, Ty. Best of luck in the mornings, man. I know we'll talk soon. Thank you.
I appreciate it, AT. Thought you made an interesting point at the end. I think it's a valid point. One of the most difficult things as a leader that you have to do is put important people around you, have people under you that are really good at their job that sometimes might get more credit than you. But the end result, that's what you're after, and that's what AT was referring to. 877-377-6963 is the number to call in. Stay with us on Halftime.
Shooters shoot. You're listening to Halftime.
What it's doing to me ain't a secret.
Only the best vehicles make it to the inventory at Hertz Car Sales. When you buy from Hertz, you know you're getting a high-quality car, SUV, or truck. The sales staff takes the time to get to know you and what you're looking for and will work hard to match you up with the perfect vehicle. You'll find that your experience at Hertz is easy and affordable as you drive away in your late-model, low-mileage vehicle. So what are you waiting for? Come on over to Hertz Car Sales, 2810 Midland Boulevard in Fort Smith. Give them a call today at 783-1722 or check them out online at buyfromhertz.com. Hertz Car Sales, when you're ready.
Did someone say, I'm hungry? Visit 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge on the Avenue. Try the new panini sandwiches like the Chicken Pyro or the Cubana or the signature 906 wings. Jumbo wings roasted with honey bacon jam. Want some spice? Try the black and blue wings. Experience their salads, flatbreads, coffees and desserts, top shelf wines and liquors, premium beers, world-class cigars, all in an atmosphere that feels less like a lounge and more like a destination. Sample, indulge, escape. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Treat your appetite on the Avenue.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Start building the backyard of your dreams with a semi-in-ground pool from our friends at Burton Pools and Spas. Hi, Tommy Kraft here to tell you about the best pool builder you can find anywhere in the region. It's Burton Pools and Spas. Award-winning pool designs, award-winning service, and people you can count on for decades at Burton Pools and Spas. Hey, if you'd like to have a pool in your backyard to spend quality time with family, keeping you cool all summer long when the temperatures get hot, but you don't want to break the bank, ask about semi-in-ground pools. These are a great way to go to provide all the comfort and all the quality time with family right in your own backyard with a semi-in-ground pool from Burton Pools and Spas. And semi-in-ground pools start at just $99.97. So enjoy the backyard of your dreams with a semi-in-ground pool from Burton Pools and Spas for under $10,000. Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
Look your best with Perfecto Cleaners at the bottom of Fiena Hills. Count on same-day service, easy drive-through cover drop-off and pickup window, and fast turnaround on alterations. Perfecto Cleaners always goes the extra mile to ensure your clothes look their best, making you look your best. Be sure to clip their coupons in the yellow pages, and as always, in by 9 and out by 5 Monday through Friday. Perfecto Cleaners, just off Jenny Lind at the bottom of Fiena Hills. Perfecto Cleaners, making you look your best.
They don't build cars like they used to, and they don't repair them like they used to either. Today's vehicles contain advanced lightweight materials and safety features like crumple zones and airbags that help protect your family. Repairing them properly after a collision requires up-to-date training. Evans Body Shop has it. We're among only 10% of shops to meet the industry's highest training standards as a Gold Class business. When you pick a collision repair shop, make the smart choice for your family's safety. Choose Gold Class trained repair professionals.
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
You put your mower through a lot. All that back and forth can add up to thousands of miles. That's like mowing cross country. Gravely commercial mowers are built for all-day performance, helping you get the job done mile after mile. Gravely, built to mow the distance.
See the full line of Gravely mowers with 0% financing for 48 months at Bush Tractor in Fort Smith, or log on to bushtractor.com.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey!
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Stewart's open. Stewart. One on the shot clock. Thurman feeding. Oh! He got it! Three-pointer!
Matty T just reminded me that on our video live stream on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, which you can always watch that for halftime or the morning rush, that Phil left his camera up there, so you can still watch batting practice up to the IMG pregame. So we still got that for you if you want a kind of an insight of what's going on at Baum Walker Stadium. Got to be respectful as we speak. Little BP going on out there.
It looks beautiful out there.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be a little cold, a little nippy if you're heading out, if you're making your way, if you're driving up to Northwest Arkansas to go to a game. But
you can start a trash can fire.
Yeah, it's opening day. I was joking with Tommy. I was actually surprised. Matty T, what is your go-to liquor?
It used to be Crown Royal. I'll be honest, I don't know if I should be embarrassed saying this. I kind of like Fireball now.
Okay, we're
It's
actually
just,
kinder.
When I was your age, I don't even know if Fireball was a thing, but
no, it is a thing. Here's the thing, and it was funny talking with Tommy this morning. I made a Fireball joke or Fireball reference because he talked about it being cold. And for those who went to the LSU game back in 2014, there were legitimate Fireball bottles on the field. And so that's why we always joke. And that joke, that reference has been made probably far beyond my age. And I don't know how long Fireball has existed. But Tommy actually told me this morning, and I like him as a boss. I like him even more now that he has Fireball in his fridge. And a lot of my friends, they say they've outgrown it. They don't.
it was
like
always
it.
a young guy, like college guys,
it's cheap.
even college girl. It's like in the last, I'm saying 10 years, it used to have that impression.
Yeah, because it's cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And what do college kids typically are attracted to? Cheap stuff. I still like it. I don't drink it like on the rocks or anything like that. But this weekend, I'm not going to get any this weekend. But I guarantee you there will be some in the hog pen out there, guaranteed. But I'm happy that you now said it. I'm happy Tommy now said it as well. Let's get into some hog news. Brandon Huffman, who's 24/7 recruiting editor, called Malik Hornsby a top 10 playmaker in this 2020 class. Top 10 of all the guys in the 2020 class. This kid is going to be electric someday, and I am really, really excited. This hype that we keep pushing in, what we keep pushing as radio hosts, as the TV people, as the writers, I'm hoping he lives up to it because based on all the local, the national recruiting people, it seems like that this guy is going to live up to the billing. I really hope so because I miss having Matt Jones as quarterback when you didn't know if the defense was going to be able to tackle the read option stuff, just stuff like it was just so fun to watch when you have a quarterback that's electric. It's just so fun to watch. See Joe Burrow, Tua Tagovailoa this year. You say Kyle Trask at Florida, Justin Fields at Ohio State. It's just more fun when your quarterback is a dual threat, and hopefully this guy. I know that Felipe Franks has some legs to him. He's going to be more of a strength guy, 6'7". Just by the way, if you stand next to him, which I did a couple weeks ago when he was in for the visit, that is a tall guy. He is a big dude, but he's going to be more physical run. Malik's going to be more of your game breaker. But the fact that one of the biggest recruiting guys in the sport thinks that he's a top 10 playmaker in this class, You got to be excited about that. And now, speaking of playmakers, Moses Moody, who plays for Monteverde Academy, went to North Little Rock, won a state title. He's going to be in Bud Walton Arena tomorrow, according to Kevin McPherson. Excited about that. He is your highest level recruit in this class. He is an excellent shooter, and he's a two-way player. That's what I think Muss is going to really enjoy. If you watch some of his highlights, he plays good defense. Like, he will lock his opponent down. There was a sequence I saw a couple weeks ago that he stuffed a guy 3 times, and the final guy put a shoulder into him, and it was an offensive foul. 6'5", long, lanky, and has the ability to not only be an offensive force, but a defensive presence as well. Again, he hasn't signed yet. He, KK Robinson, and Jalen Williams will sign on National Signing Day, but hopefully he will see something good in attendance tomorrow afternoon. Put on a show for Mo is what I'm calling it, as Moses Moody will be in the building in Bud Walton Arena. Mason Jones, he's been named to the Naismith Trophy list, the midseason one. There's only 30 guys on this list, and one of your guys, Mason Jones, is on it. This is divvied out to the best player in college basketball, and he is one of only 30 guys on it. I know he's had a little bit of a bad stint these last 2 games, but he's got a chance to turn it around, and I've spoken to it before. I'll speak to it again. You got Reggie Perry coming in. This is a guy that originally committed to Arkansas. This is a guy that's in the running, probably top 3 for not SEC Player of the Year. Show up. Mace, this is your chance to shine. This is your chance to prove that you don't only belong in the conversation for SEC Player of the Year. You belong in the college basketball conversation for Best Player of the Year, the way you've improved from last year to this year. I mean, it's incredible. You think about his possession usage. I need to pull this up on KenPom real quick because I know it's relatively high compared to what it was last year. He was a spot-up guy last year, and he has just transformed himself. In college basketball, he's 36th in possession. You know what he is in the SEC, Matt?
7th.
Numero uno. Number 1. So of all the players in the SEC, he's touching the ball more than anyone. Possession usage. That is Mason Jones. And I think that's why he's got a little weird. He's got a little tired as of late. So you hope he can respond. You hope that he can really turn it around because I think he's hungry. I know they had a little spat, him and Eric Musselman, but that's what competitors do. It's not kumbaya around here all the time with me and Tommy. Like, I'm a competitive SOB sometimes, and I try, and I'm as respectful as it gets when it comes to the employer-employee relationship. But you can't, like, when you have someone you have 2 guys, and I'm pointing to Mason and Muss here, not me and Tommy. When you have 2 guys who are so fiery like that, because Mason has a little chip on his shoulder, obviously, coming out of high school, being bigger to where he is now. He's got that. Muss has got all these D-League, G-Leagues, CBA, all this other coaching stuff, and now he's big time as head coach of the Arkansas Razorbacks. They both have chip on their shoulder. And so every once in a while there's going to be a confrontation, which is fine. It just can't be ongoing. It can't be repetitive. It can't continue every single game. And I think, I mean, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but you had the Georgia Tech where Mason hit that 3 and he was celebrating and Muss didn't like that because the game was still going. You had a second or 2 left and he yanked him. But outside of that, maybe there's an instance earlier this season that I'm forgetting. I don't really remember a verbal exchange that was blown up on social media the way it was against Missouri. I don't remember that. And that was just a weird game because I felt like they came out flat from the start and no one looked like they wanted to be there. They really didn't want to be there at Knoxville. They still almost beat Mizzou. But I think that was just, hopefully, I don't know if I can say it was a one-time thing, but hopefully it's not going to recur every single game. As far as the baseball team goes, Casey Martin, Heston Kjerstad, they made the Golden Spikes list, preseason watch list. So that will be something to keep an eye on. You had Andrew Benintendi win it back in 2015. I know a couple of people have reached out to me and reached out via text line that think that Heston has a really good shot of winning that Golden Spikes. And I think, here's the thing about Casey, too. We know how talented Casey is. At one point in time, D1 Baseball had him as the number one prospect in the sport for this upcoming draft. Is he going to be that? Probably not. He showed some signs of miscues with the errors and the not pulling back on swings on certain pitches last year. That being said, based on the conversations that you've heard of him this offseason and leading up to this game today, he seems as fiery as ever. He seems as motivated as ever, and he's really excited about this baseball club. Now, Heston is more, I would say, less fiery and not necessarily keeps it together, but keeps it more internally and stuff. But, I mean, that guy's as good as it gets. Phil's under the impression that he's just going to have a monster year. And I mean monster year. Like an Andrew Benintendi Golden Spikes type year. Who knows? Maybe he can have another one. Greg and Mulberry text in. He says, it's awesome baseball is finally here. And I believe I could take some of the fan pressure off the basketball team being the only game going. Good job, Ben. Woo pig suey. Again, today, we're going to keep you up on halftime till 1:30. Then Phil and Bubba will have the pregame show until 2. And the game starting up at 2 with Eastern Illinois. Tomorrow, the schedule is going to be a little overlap. Got the baseball game starting.
Basketball.
Basketball game, airtime starts at 11:30. Then the game at 12, and then as soon as the basketball game's over,
we'll join in progress.
Correct. In progress to the baseball game. So we got that. So we got a loaded weekend, and then a Sunday play as well. We got a loaded weekend for you of sports, of Razorback sports.
And
on
then
ESPN
Sunday
Arkansas.
night, we've got the NBA All-Star game in the evening.
We got that in there too?
Yes.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. Dude, we have not, and I know that's this weekend, we have not talked. Phil and I have not mentioned, and I don't think Tommy and I have yet, we have not mentioned the NBA once. All week.
There's just so much other stuff to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, with Razorback sports being in the thick of things right now, it's hard to fit that in. I'm going to be honest, like occasionally Tommy and I or Phil and I will talk old basketball, but we don't have a lot of questions or comments concerning NBA teams on our text line or calls. And I'd be lying if I told you I paid attention. Like with me doing both shows, it's this, and I'm watching or reading about Razorback stuff. That's about it. I haven't paid too much attention to other sports as far as that goes. 877-377-6963 is the number to call in here on halftime. Coming up, we're going to talk about home. Why do you think Pittman and all these guys want to be here, and some of these coaches on campus? Also, what's your worst Valentine's Day experience? That's coming up on halftime.
Back again at Harry Robinson Salasol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salasol, Oklahoma. The 2019s have got to go, and that includes the 2019 Ford Edge. And that means Edge, not an Edges, because there's only one left. We're talking $10,000 off. You've only got one. This baby is fully loaded.
Yes, this is a titanium leather, heated seats, panoramic sunroof. Guys, this is loaded up with all of the options. The most we've seen off of this thing is around $6,000 to $7,000. I've got one left in stock, and I need it gone. If you need to get down here ASAP, $10,000 off of this Ford Edge. Come take advantage of it.
And again, can't stress enough, you've only got one, so when it's gone, it's gone.
Hey, like you said, when it's gone, it's gone. We've got the 2020s out here, but this last 2019, I need it out of here, guys. $10,000 off. Be the lucky customer to come in and leave in an equity position.
All right, it's all at Harry Robinson Salasol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salasol, Oklahoma.
Attention Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative members. Do you need a better internet provider? One who treats you like a member and not a number? Then check out our new fiber internet services from Wave Rural Connect. We are bringing state-of-the-art, high-speed fiber, internet, TV, and phone services right into your home. If you are an Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative member, go to waveruralconnect.com to sign up. That's waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
New Bud Light Seltzer, huh?
Yep.
And it tastes like a hard seltzer, not a beer?
Yep.
So it's light and refreshing?
Yep.
With a hint of fruit flavor?
Yep.
And 100 calories?
Yep.
You said this is Bud Light Seltzer?
Yep.
Well, I need to try it.
Yep.
Oh, that tastes great.
Yep.
Now, wait, are you just yupping me?
Nope.
Bud Light Seltzer, unquestionably good. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beers, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
In sports, success is measured in points, wins, and trophies. At Shelter Insurance, we measure success in the quality of our products and services. in our community support, in being there when you need us, and the occasional trophy, like the one from J.D. Power for highest customer satisfaction among auto insurers in the Central region. For J.D. Power 2019 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Ask shelter agents Brandon Zimmerman or Chris Dooley about a free insurance review.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Clear to partly cloudy sky tonight. An overnight low will drop down into the low teens north, low 20s south. Sunshine with us on Friday. Our high temperatures in the low to mid 40s. Saturday, a whole lot of sunshine. Our high temperatures in the low to mid 50s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Rhodes Chevrolet. Find new roads. Van Buren, Arkansas.
Proceed. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Bushlight Studios on ESPN 95.3.
It's what I always listen to.
These guys are awesome, baby. You can have these guys, ESPN in Arkansas. They do a good job.
Live from the Bushlight Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here. Woo!
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Why did that happen in Fayetteville, Arkansas?
Dixon Street. It'll get you.
Streaming live from
Hit that line.
.com.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Good afternoon to the dynamic duo. I think Clay named that right. Fellas, I just want you to know I've enjoyed this show. Y'all took it from scratch. I heard your first show, and you've turned it into my favorite show.
Jones for the win. He got it. He got it. He got it. Mason Jones banks in a three with 0.1 seconds to play.
Hey, hold on. It's almost halftime.
The one thing I always enjoy about our halftimers is they deliver. Got a text here about the NBA. This comes from Joe at Mountain Home. Just says the NBA is terrible.
Jeez, tell us how you really feel.
Yeah. Joe's not a fan. I guarantee you Joe is a bigger fan of the 90s and 80s NBA, which I am too, Joe. Again,
I'm more of a fan of NBA Jam, the video game.
That's a good video
Boom!
game, Matty T.
Shakalaka.
So, I claim to some millennial things. Like, I have the long hair. I do dumb stuff sometimes. But
you got a cool shirt on today, though.
Thank you, buddy. This is a rain spooner. I don't
retro.
They discontinued it, so this is. What did you call this the other? It's not retro. It's
well, vintage. Is that actually vintage?
Yeah, it's discontinued.
Oh, cool. So you got the national championship '94 pennant is on the shirt.
Yeah, it's got some women's basketball, Old Main. It's got the whole 9 yards on it. So I got the lady come down on it, $15.
No
too.
kidding.
Yeah,
wow.
she was kind of
bargaining.
But kind of back to the NBA stuff. I like Bird, Magic, the Pistons, Michael. Like that's my time. I don't claim this stuff. I watch it sometimes, but I don't claim it. I'm a Thunder fan, but I don't like Chris Paul, and I really started to get tired of Russell Westbrook, so it's been hard to be a Thunder fan lately because the players that were starting to annoy me are on my team, which is tough. But you got to do what you got to do. So I talked about it earlier, and I wanted to get in on this segment. When you think of home, and this can be a variety of places. This can be in Arkansas. This can be outside of Arkansas. Be wherever. And there are certain aspects, certain parts of it that you really, really enjoy. You like it. And some people question it. Some people understand it, why you're like that, why you live that way. And some don't. And that's okay. It doesn't really matter because your opinion is what matters. Arkansas is home to me. Born and raised in Little Rock. I will probably be here in Arkansas for the rest of my life. That's my goal, at least. Now, we don't know what God has in store, but that is the goal I've set forth for myself, to be in Arkansas. Because the one thing about Arkansas is it's pretty cheap. So I can go vacation places. Now, I know Tommy's not exactly going to give me a month vacation every year, to go that, but you can go places and stuff. I've really enjoyed living here, and I got a good group of friends here.
You like the pace of Arkansas?
Yeah, the pace of Arkansas.
Not too fast, not too slow, just right.
The Southern hospitality. I've really and got a good group of friends here. I like Arkansas. I like being in the Fort Smith River Valley area. Got some good buddies. But when I graduated, I told myself I am not living in Arkansas. I'd lived there for 22 years. I got to get out and just see something. I didn't know how long it was going to be. I didn't know how long it was going to be at all. Get out, go to Nashville is great.
loved the traffic.
Did not like the traffic. That traffic was awful. But it's not exactly similar, but it's a southern city. Tennessee's kind of similar to Arkansas. There's pretty girls everywhere, just like there is here. I had a great time. And I do not regret for 1 second moving out there, because if I didn't move out there, I probably wouldn't have landed this job. I actually got offered, not here, I got offered to stay in Arkansas initially out of college, and I was just like, can't do it. Just need to do that. But I did get homesick to a certain extent. And I think Sam Pittman, parallel's coming. Here it is. Sam Pittman took the Georgia job. Or did he go go Tennessee first? It went to Georgia. I'm making that up. So he takes the Georgia job and does what he does there. I'm thinking because Chaney went to Tennessee after. And he wanted to get back home. Dave Van Horn, he's been home for quite some time. Now, I know he's from Nebraska, but he played here, played under Norm, loves this place. I think Muss is starting to figure out, and he's on the tip of the iceberg at this point. On the tip of the iceberg. Think about where this team is right now, the reactions of fans, and more to the Auburn and Kentucky game and some of the other games this season, how much you as the fan have welcomed him into the program, his family, the fan base, the atmosphere of Bud Walton Arena. Now, I don't know what his intentions are. I think Sam Pittman has spoke to him immensely. He said multiple times, I want to stay here for a while, retire in Lake and Hot Springs. He's bought the lot. Hopefully he just builds a massive house. The bigger the house, that means the probably more successful football programs you're going to be in the next couple of years, because he'll have more money, because he'll get more money. As far as DVH goes, he's going to be here until he retires. Would be blown away, would be shocked if he went anywhere else. Phil would, other people who know Dave a lot more than I do, be the exact same way. So you got two lifers, basically. Pittman's hadn't been here his whole life, but loved it. The Grove story, talking about wanting to play for Lou Holtz, growing up a Razorback fan. Great interview with him earlier this week. If you haven't listened to it, it's on our SoundCloud and on hitthatline.com, talking about his love for the Hog, which is just awesome. Muss, again, I don't know his future. I don't know his intentions. I don't know his goals, because he hadn't spoken to him as much as the other two guys. But I would like to hope, and maybe this is me hoping more than actually happy, that if he gets Arkansas back to a point, and I don't know if he can ever get it to where Nolan got it, because I don't think, and again, I wasn't alive for it, so I don't know if I'm the best one to accurately depict how great it was, but just every single person that talks about it, it was unbelievable. It was unbelievable how great it was back in the day. I'm hoping he can get it a lot farther than Mike, maybe not a lot farther than Mike, deeper in postseason, and maybe do something. And maybe he'll get to a point where he's like, well, initially, I came to Arkansas because it was a really, really good job, but I thought I was going to move out. And maybe he gets to a point where he's like, I want to retire here. What's funny, I know Mike Irwin had this tweet out a couple weeks ago. It's probably a couple months ago, talking about how Nolan's from El Paso and Norm, forgetting where Norm's from. He might be, Dave's from Nebraska, obviously. A lot of your marquee guys, Frank's from Mizzou. I know he went to Georgia Tech, but I think he's from Mizzou. A lot of your marquee guys throughout the history of this state have not necessarily been from here. And that's okay, because all you got to do is just immerse yourself from the program. Phil's not on right now. Is there anyone more Razorback, anyone that you enjoy more than listening to Phil Elson talk Arkansas baseball?
No.
Crickets, yeah. There's crickets. There were crickets just going there, Matty T. Because Phil's incredible at it. And he puts so much time and effort and work. I can't even tell you what his prep is like. Like, I put a lot of prep into the shows we do here on ESPN Arkansas. And then I walk into the press box with Phil and Bubba. It is absurd how many notes Phil has taken. It's incredible. And you got to give him props for it. And that's why he delivers a fantastic broadcast every single game. Not just for the Arkansas Razorbacks baseball team, but the women's basketball team as well. But the point I was trying to make early on, being in Nashville, is I'm home. My buddies ask, and I get asked sometimes, and I know there's people that joke, it's like, oh, this guy's good, he's young, he's going to move on. I'm going to be in Arkansas. Now, I can't predict the future. Tommy's asked me when I don't know, I'm 25. I got a long way to go. But I will tell you that just because the outside perception outside of the state is, and unfortunately it's, oh, that's just Arkansas. They don't have electricity. Marry their cousins. Just like dumb stuff. Just illiterate thinking. Just awful thinking from people. And not everyone's like that. But occasionally you'll get a knucklehead that thinks that about Arkansas. I've really, really enjoyed growing up here. I don't know about you listening. I know we got some people outside the Oklahoma line, but I've really enjoyed growing up inside the state of Arkansas. And based on what you've heard from Dave Van Horn, based on what you've heard from Sam Pittman, and based on what you're hoping about Eric Musselman, they feel the same way. You know how two guys feel, and you hope just after a couple months that Muss feels the same way about this team and the future of this basketball program. Because they'll keep pumping in the money. He keeps winning. He keeps recruiting. Let me tell you, the support will be there. I've seen that. I mean, you saw when Mike would have unranked teams coming in and still selling out at Budwall. It's there. You just got to capitalize on it. All right, a great place to watch the games this weekend, if you're in Fort Smith, River Valley, or wherever, is 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. The incredible LED display that they have set up. You can get incredible food. I'm a big fan of the black and blue wings with the Reaper sauce. It's fantastic. They have an LED. It's not a projector, but it's incredible. You can either have multiple games or the Arkansas game on, which they'll have on for the baseball and then the basketball tomorrow. So make sure you go check it out. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Upgrade your even on the Avenue. 906 Garrison Avenue here in Fort Smith. Coming up, worst Valentine's Day experiences. We'll get into that next.
When in doubt, expense it. You're listening to Halftime. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
They're 134th in college basketball in free throw shooting percentage. At one point, you're inside the top 50. 134th is not terrible. They're shooting about 72% as a team. But because of these tight ball games, how big were those 11 missed free throws? This team's looking at the stat sheet and they're saying, man, wish we would have knocked those free throws down, Tommy.
Don't miss the Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3.
It's Truck Month at the all-new Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw, Oklahoma. $11,000 off and 0 for 72 months on remaining 2019 F-150s. Troy Horn is here. This only comes around once a year. Truck Month is here. Double the savings, $11,000 off and no interest for 72 months.
Oh my gosh, doesn't that sound beautiful? I just want to say it one more time. $11,000 off and 0% financing for 72 months. You know just as well as I do, most of the time you don't get money and the 0% financing. But right now, Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, $11,000 off and 0% financing for 72 months. I only have 8 remaining in stock. Come down here, take advantage of all of this money and that 0%.
$11,000 off and 0% for 72 months at Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw, Oklahoma.
That time at Oaklawn, we showed up on President's Day and won our share of Washingtons and Lincolns. Don't miss President's Day weekend at Oaklawn. On Sunday, pick up your official 2020 Oaklawn cap, free with voucher while supplies last. Monday, catch 3 rich stakes races, highlighted by the $750,000 Southwest Stakes. Oaklawn, a new level of racing, a new level of winning. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
You know, all of us like easy, and voice activated makes everything easy. Get a free upgrade to voice activated remotes when you make the move to Dish right now with World of Wireless.
Now call WOW now 877-305-DISH or go to shopwownow.com. But you can get the free voice remote with Google Assistant right now when you sign up for the Hopper 3 system at our store, World of Wireless. We're a premier dealer, so you can come and see it demonstrated live in person at the corner of Phoenix and Rogers Avenue.
Plus, it's the month of love. Get that $100 Visa gift card that you can spend on anything for your sweetheart all month long.
That's right. You just got to sign up for new Dish service. Come in and get it signed up and installed before Valentine's Day, and we'll honor a 2-year price guarantee, give you free installation, free equipment, free HD. 2-year price lock is the best offer and a $100 Visa gift card.
Plus that free installations with a local crew right here at World of Wireless. 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474. Get a 2-year price guarantee with World of Wireless.
This is Mark Hurst. How important is your smile? I recently read a study that said 61% of adults are attracted to someone by their smile alone. Another said that 48% of adults have untagged themselves from a photo on Facebook because of their smile. At Hurst Family Dental Care, we want you to be proud of your smile. Give us a call at 474-1972 and let us talk to you about improving your smile with cosmetic dentistry options ranging from in-office bleaching to braces to porcelain crowns and veneers. Hurst Family Dental Care, a name you know and a name you can trust.
The greatest explorers used to rely on compasses and telescopes. Now they rely on Ford Copilot 360 technology with available intelligent adaptive cruise control with stop and go, lane centering, and speed sign recognition as they discover new worlds from available heated leather captain seats. The 2020 Ford Explorer, completely redesigned and more intuitive than ever. It's the greatest exploration vehicle of all time.
Driver assist features are supplemental and do not replace the driver's attention, judgment, and need to control the vehicle.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey!
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Jones gets a screen right side. Mason keeps the dribble with the left hand. He'll launch a three. He got it to go. Mason Jones with a contested three. He knocked it down. Hogs are up by 3.
All right, last segment on halftime, 877-377-6963. Got the IMG pregame coming up with our guy Phil Elson. He'll take you through the entire Arkansas baseball game along with the man Bubba Carpenter. And initially when I started, one of the things that I picked on, so Phil and I started the show last September. And I didn't know Bubba at all to that point. I still don't know him a lot. Or know him that well, but he is fantastic. You want to talk about some great chemistry. That's Bubba Carpenter and Phil Elson. They are fantastic together. They finish each other's sentences. They know exactly what each other is thinking. It is really fun to listen to them. And I think me and Phil, our chemistry has got a lot better in the year and a half we've been doing it. But man, him and Bubba, they're just on the same wavelength. And I think you and Phil have some good chemistry because you guys have known each other longer too as well, Matty.
Yeah, quite a few years now.
So I can't
It's hard not to have good chemistry with Phil.
Yeah, he's easy to work with.
Very professional.
And so I can brag on him since he's not listening and he's not gonna.
I saw he's got his peanut M&Ms ready, so you know it's officially Razorback baseball.
It's Razorback baseball
season.
season.
He's got 2 packages of peanut M&Ms.
So it has been a blast working with Phil. It's been a blast working with Tommy. I'm really excited for where the direction of the morning rush is going. But just, I guess this is kind of it's not really a send-off because I'll still be doing a couple shows next week. But I just want to say before we get into some Valentine's Day stuff, I guess this is my Valentine's Day memento to Phil, is he has been a huge help so far early in my career. Now, I would label, if I had to pick 3 guys out that have helped me along the way more than any, I guess it's 4 because I got to include Basil in there. John's number 1. John helped me get the job up initially when I was in college in Northwest Arkansas producing his show. Tommy's probably number 2 with him trusting me to be where I'm at. Phil and Basil are probably number 3. Basil was the first media guy I met outside of Clay. I think he was the first one. Actually, I met Rick Schaefer my freshman year. We had a good.
I've got notes from Basil from like 12 years ago, just positive things he would write to me. He's one of the nicest guys.
Yeah, really good guy. Always nice to me, and really appreciate.
People love
that.
teasing him too. You know, but
giving him a hard
guy.
time. So, but those guys, and then also I kind of lump all these together. Bart, Bo, and Saul have also been instrumental in that. So I've had some pretty good mentors. I've had some pretty good coworkers along the way that I feel like have hopefully gotten me somewhat decent at this. We'll see. I don't know. I could get fired on Monday. We'll roll around Monday and Tommy can can my keister. We'll see. So Matty T, you got a Valentine's Day plan. You got a lovely lady that you're gonna do a few things with tonight. What's the?
I do. Well, we actually started it yesterday evening and exchanged the gifts, got roses and stuff. In fact,
there you go.
The shirt I'm wearing today is Star Wars shirt was a gift from her, and I got some socks on that have pictures of my dog's face on them. So, is there anything sweeter than that?
I don't know, man. I don't know. That's hard to beat. So you heard Clay's great Great line. Or no, you weren't. Okay, you weren't.
I heard it from you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Clay, for those who didn't hear this yesterday, Clay was on the morning rush and he wanted to talk Valentine's Day. And when Clay Henry asked to talk Valentine's Day, you let Clay Henry talk about Valentine's Day. And I'm going to be honest. I just wound him up and let him go. I didn't know where this conversation was going. I had no idea what direction. I was just, hey, you do your thing. Let's see where this ends up. And he actually gives a pretty heartfelt message to our listeners talking about how he writes a poem to his wife, Jean Ann, every year. And I thought it was really cool. It always seems to make her heart melt. We're going to go opposite as we end the program. Well, Matty T, I'll let you start. What is your worst Valentine's Day experience / story you've heard or someone? Do you have one that stands out?
I would say not necessarily just a story. A lot of lonely years, watching everybody else do it.
I'm right there with you. 25. I don't know if elementary and middle school count as Valentine's or whatever, but I've had some fun. I've had more funny stuff happen.
Did you ever do the the message, will you go out with me, circle yes or no, when you were in grade school?
So Sorcerer's Apprentice,
did that happen in there?
When Brichelle asked Teresa Palmer.
It can be pretty brutal when you're in 5th grade and you get a circle no.
No, that's rough. No, I don't
know if
think
it was funny, but
I went to a private Christian school, and they would probably condemn that as a way of.
I did too. I was a Christ the King kid. You were
Little Rock Christians. They would probably find a way to say that's not moral in God's eyes or something. They would find something, but no, that did not happen. I'm thinking my funniest Valentine's, and I don't know how funny this is, but on Valentine's Day for some reason I ordered pizza. I was just hanging out with, and I went up $600 in in-game betting. Just being and this is one of the reasons I don't bet anymore, because I was a maniac back in the day. I went to the casino twice, lost $800.
Oh my God.
Just a maniac back in the day. That's why.
At least that was back in the day.
Yeah, and keyword back in the day. I kind of remember having a conversation with my father going to the scholarship banquet, and he was like, I saw $800 come out your bank account. It's like, hey, Dad, listen, I'm getting a scholarship today. You're at the banquet. Let's hold off that conversation for another time. It was my money, so that's what he told me. It's his money. But I ended up going down. I was up $500, $600, and I only ended up winning $100. I was so bummed because I was up so much money that day, whatever, and it just went on down. So I've seen so many different stories on Twitter and Facebook about Valentine's Day. It's really funny. For example, my buddy who is in dental school up in Iowa right now, he said he was living someone next door, and their baby mama kicked him out, and they said, I hope you have a terrible Valentine's Day. And he said he had to call the cops because of how loud and obnoxious they were. And this was at 2:00 in the morning. He heard all this yelling. I was like, man, that's a tough way to start Valentine's Day. It's a tough way to start Valentine's Day. So hopefully your spouse, his or her, doesn't matter if it's guy or girl. The other one, if you really want to get to this baseball game, they'll let you go to this baseball game. They'll up and let you go. So
maybe they'd go with you.
Yeah, or go with you. Either way. So, and the great thing about moving it up, I know that it's more guys that listen to this show. You go to the game, you're home by 5:30.
Mm-hmm.
You're good. You can still go out. You leave a few innings early, or you can stay for the whole game if you live up in Northwest Arkansas. You're still good to take the wife out. If you're more of a tomboy and you're the woman and the guy doesn't like the sports, you still got time to go out with your husband somewhere. It's the exact same way. You got plenty of time. That's why this game time move up is so fantastic, is because it's giving the men and women that listen to this program and listen to Arkansas baseball a chance to go to the game and yet still capitalize on Valentine's Day. So I cut you off earlier. What are you inclined to do the rest of the day?
We're going to have a Valentine's weekend, so
whole shebang.
Yeah, so maybe visit a place we haven't eaten before, and I think maybe do she wants to go to Target and walk around. I don't know how romantic that is, but hey, the lady likes Target,
You do it, dude. I know the phrase.
I did the roses and everything though, so
smart man.
I did what I was supposed to. Got the chocolates, and she likes sloths, so got some stuffed animals of sloths, the slow animals.
Okay, I thought there was a form of chocolate that you were going to refer to. I had no
idea. A sloth chocolate?
A sloth chocolate. Yeah, I had no idea what that was. So, I had no idea at all. But we got Arkansas baseball coming up. IMG pregame kicks off in about 5 minutes or so. Your starting pitchers today are going to be Will Klein, who throws like 95, stud. He's one of the OVC's best prospects, so keep an eye out for him. Arkansas, Connor Nolan, Greenwood kid, Greenwood Bulldog. Chose baseball this past offseason. And now we get to see what he's dealing on Friday nights and Friday afternoons. Apparently he's low 90s is what Phil has said. So his velocity's kicked up. I think he was throwing like 88, 87 from last year. So we'll get to see what a full offseason focused on just baseball has done for Connor Nolan. I'm really excited, and I hope he just absolutely kills it. And I hope Witt comes out Thursday. He throws some smoke too, and then we'll see what the freshman Blake Adams can do on Sunday as well. But I'm going to head up there for all those who are driving right now as we speak, heading up to Northwest Arkansas, making their way to Baum-Walker Stadium. Be safe. I know there's going to be heavy traffic as you get closer to Fayetteville, but this is the time that you're just it's not that you're not happy to be a Razorback at any other point in the season, but you're not as sad. Arkansas baseball doesn't make you feel as sad as Arkansas football and Arkansas basketball. And I know there's people been lining up since 8 a.m. The tailgating is rocking and rolling outside of there at Baum. It's going to be a good time. Enjoy this team, enjoy this coach, because it's not going to last forever. I'm not foreshadowing, I'm just telling you. People always think that the best times are endless. The best times last forever. That's not the case. I think this team is probably going, based on the conversations I've had with Phil on air and off air, this team is going to compete for at least a College World Series. We'll see if they can get past a game or two up there in Omaha, but be excited about this team.
What if the good old days are right now? These are the good old days.
They are the good old days, man. I mean, you have one of the best. He's at least top 5. Some would argue top 3 baseball coaches in college baseball. You have a top 3 ballpark in college baseball. It's getting additions to it, which is just incredible, the amount of money that you have in there. You have great assistant coaches as well. I mean, Hobbs got interviewed by the New York Yankees, for crying out loud, and I think the Athletics as well. And then Nate Thompson does a tremendous job. And you think about the guys you've also had, Wes Johnson, Tony Vitello. I mean, you've just had some dudes come through this program that Dave Van Horn has tutored. But again, Arkansas baseball is coming up. IMG pregame set to start in about 3 or so minutes. And you're going to like the Open, too. Phil sent me the Open a couple days ago. I listened to it. And there's a hype video on Arkansas baseball Twitter, too, that you like. For Matty T, I'm Ty Richardson. Don't spin live, sit on your hands.
The best midday show in the Natty State. You're listening